Welcome to Solo Melodica. I am Tim Kaiser. Today is a first time listen to the song Pray by King's X, and this is a lyric analysis channel, so we'll make some stops, chat about the lyrics, and do a wrap up at the end. So let's get into King's X. Real fast before the lyrics start. So I did read through the lyrics, have a decent idea, but it's always different to hear it in the song. But my familiarity with King's X is limited to the album Faith, Hope, and Love and Gretchen Goes to Nebraska. I was in the Navy at the time. This is a long time ago, but I found them to be a very original band during the time of like when grunge was getting popular, a breath of fresh air. But I only listened to those two records, so this is new for me. So let's get into it. Let's get back into it.
And if you feel what you think is true, if you found peace deep inside of you, if your faith made a mountain move for you, then don't forget to pray for me. Hear me now. If you think that Jesus has saved you, Mother Mary's waiting there for you. If you think that God has spoke to you, then don't forget to pray for me. Hear me now. Pray for me. Pray for me. If you really do believe, then don't forget to pray for me. Hear me now.
Man, that's such a fun song. I love everything about this song. And let's just dive into the lyrics tonight. Again, I've pre-read the lyrics, so I know. And so this is what I understand about King's X. And I think they were, and when I listened to them, I was not a Christian, so I did not think they were a Christian band. And I believe when they first came out, the first four albums, a lot of Christians claimed they were a Christian band. Now, this is an issue with Christians. We often like to have people be on our side, so to speak, and claim them to represent and to have status. I'll say bands like Switchfoot, and King's X, obviously, because we'll get there in a second. POD, bands like that are probably Christians in the band, but they're not Christian bands. People are Christians, they're not a Christian band. My son's in a band. It's a metalcore band called Porcupine. Same thing. He's a Christian. There are some other people in the band that are people of faith, people who aren't. And although their songs may have spiritual connotations, you're not going to find them playing in a church, nor are they trying to appeal to other Christians. So it's not like it's Hillsong or Bethel or Crowder or any like that. This is just rock and roll. And so the first set of lyrics here, he's addressing Christians. And he's like, basically, if you think you're better off than me and my life is a wreck, I'm paraphrasing, if you feel that you have what you think is true, if you found peace deep inside of you, I'm reading it from my phone, my lyrics from my phone. If your faith made a mountain move for you, then don't forget to pray for me. If you think that Jesus has saved you, Mother Mary is waiting there for you. If you think that God has spoken to you, then don't forget to pray for me. Pray for me. If you really believe, then don't forget to pray for me. Hear me now. So he's addressing Christians now. Now, I know this from this band because after I became a Christian, I heard, King's X is a Christian band. And then in 1998, the lead singer, and I'm drawing a blank on his name, so if you know his name, please put it in the comments, came out in an interview as homosexual. And then a lot of the Christians turned their back on the band. Now, I can understand if you were a pastor, married pastor, and all of a sudden you say, no, I'm homosexual, then church is like, yeah, this does not align with the Bible. Now, he goes through three things. He hits Christians, he hits Islam, and he hits the Jewish faith. All three of them, they're holy books. None of them are proponents of homosexuality. I know that drives people crazy because they try to revisionist history the books that were written thousands of years ago, but none of them support it. So, but turning their back on somebody who said they weren't a Christian band seems kind of weird to me anyway. So I believe, and I don't know for sure, but I imagine this song probably is a pushback against how he was treated as a person. And he's like, if you think you're better off than me, then maybe you should just pray for me, which I think is a super, super solid message. So let's go back a second, and then we will hit the next
If you think there's heaven when you die, waiting for you, freedom for your life. When you pray, does Allah answer you? Then don't forget to pray for me. Hear me now, and if you live in the promised land, and your temple will be built again. If Moses brought you out of Pharaoh's hands, and don't forget to pray for me. Hear me now.
Okay, so I found that kind of funny though, based on what I just said. So now he's hitting the faith of Islam and the Jewish faith, right? In just very quick verses. If you think there's heaven when you die, waiting for your freedom for your life, when you pray, does Allah answer you? Then don't forget to pray for me. Hear me now. So he's addressing them as well. So maybe he got pushbacks from all three religions. So this is something that Christians don't do well. We don't understand that we are basically cousins. I love my cousins, but basically the Christian faith is a cousin of the Hebrew faith, and the Hebrew faith and the Islamic faith are cousins. Now, we all have different ways how we get to the very end, and we all believe ours is correct, but we do have the connection through Abraham, right? So Abraham is the father of faith for Jewish, and then Ishmael for the Arabs and for the Islam. We all have the same origination. Now, there are some stratifications and some differences to the three. And I'm not saying universalism or pluralism. I totally believe in having faith in Christ. And that's a different story for a different time, for a different argument, different explanation. So I'm not saying that we all are heading in the same direction. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying we do have some commonalities. And then the last verse that he just said, and this is more towards the Hebrew faith, and if you live in the promised land and your temple will be built again, if Moses brought you out of Pharaoh's hands, then don't forget to pray for me. So he's addressing all three of the major faiths that have their roots in Abraham in Genesis chapter 12, basically. So this song is fantastic. The groove in this band, oh my goodness. I always found them to be such a breath of fresh air, and this song is no different. And these lyrics are super awesome. I'm going to back up a second again. Of course, I back up to that point.
Moses brought you out of Pharaoh's hands, and don't forget to pray for me. Hear me now. Pray for me. Pray for me. If you really do believe, then don't forget to pray for me. Hear me now.
Wow, that was a great song. I love that song, and I think the point's well taken. I think that we should take this to heart as Christians, and I can't speak for my Jewish brothers or the those who believe who are practicing Islam about this. But when we have someone in our life that we disagree with their lifestyle based on what we believe interpretation of the Bible, and of course I'm living a certain way and I believe a certain way, but it's not good to like just cut people out of your life. If we believe a certain way, then why not pray for them, right? I have people in my life that are, I would consider astray, adrift from the faith, turn their back on God. And my responsibility to them is to love them and is to pray for them and to be kind to them. And I can't, there's a scripture that says the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God. We by being mad about something does not change anything. And all it does is make us, it kind of elevates us on our moral high horse that we believe that, oh my God, since I'm angry about this, sometimes people get mad at me because I'm like, yeah, it doesn't bother me, certain thing. This is God's business. I have certain responsibility is to answer their questions they have any, to love them, to pray for them, and to speak life into them. I can't convince them to change the way they believe or the way they live. All I can do is walk alongside them and trust that God makes up the difference. And it makes it a little easier for me because it takes the pressure off me. Who am I? I mean, I don't have any power. I can barely change my own life. Taking care of this guy, he has his own issues and problems, and that's tough enough for me to live a life that even I agree with. How can I convince someone else to do it? Love them, pray for them, walk alongside them, be kind to them, answer their questions when they have them, and speak life to them. So, but this was a very good song, man. I've not, again, have not listened to their music since the Faith, Hope, Love, and Gretchen Goes to Nebraska. I think I had to dig out some King's X and enjoy it. Such a funky rock band. One of my favorite trios of all time, really. So that's it. That's it for today. I hope this video has been a blessing to you. If it has, please like, subscribe, share. If you want to throw a comment in there, I can't promise you I'll get to them, but you can let your voice be heard in the comments at least. So blessings to you, blessings to your family. May the grace of God, the peace of God come upon you, overwhelm you, overtake you, and I will see you soon with a new video.